All right, let's get it going. Travis Hunter, wide receiver, Colorado, 6 foot and 3/8 inches tall, 188 pounds, 9 1/8 inch hands. He is 21 years old. He'll be 22 in May. He didn't run any of the drills at the combine. Last year in 13 games, he had 96 receptions, 1,258 yards receiving, 15 touchdowns, 2 rush attempts for 5 yards and an additional touchdown, and he did that on 121 targets last year, only credited with 3 drops.
Yeah, nice hands. Mm-hmm. So this is somebody player that we talked about kind of like at the end of the year, if you go back late December, early January, I said in the show, I was like, man, Travis Hunter, like, I don't know if I'm going to put him on my board because he's off my board because I'm hearing he's going to be probably drafted as a cornerback. Well, that, here as we enter April 1st, that script is completely flipped. Like I'm hearing from multiple sources, not my sources, from multiple reporters,
league sources
saying that a lot of teams view him as a wide receiver now,
especially like the top teams.
The most important teams are going to take
him. Right. The ones that actually have a shot at it.
The Browns, for example, have been gushing about Travis Hunter here in Cleveland, and they view him as a wide receiver. And you shouldn't be too worried about the cornerback talk because he is. I mean, you got to remember this guy won the Biletnikoff Award for nation's best receiver, and he won an award. I can't remember what it's called for the best defensive back as well. And he's very good at both. He's a dominant player. But when you get to the NFL, it's not that I don't think he couldn't continue that process of playing both ways. Like I think he's athletic enough he can. The problem in the NFL is like you don't have the time, right? Like when you're in the NFL, you're going to watch tape, study with your position group week in and week out, right? You got to know, like if you're a receiver, you got to know your defensive back you're playing up. You got to know the scheme for the week. So you got to be in the practice on the field, practicing that position. It'd be way harder to play both positions just because you don't have enough time in the day to watch the tape. So I do feel very confident if Travis Hunter is drafted as a receiver, which I would now say I'm probably 99% sure is going to happen.
Okay.
I'm going to start off by saying I feel very good about that. To the point of he is clear cut in a way it's going to be hard for me to envision I'm going to see another receiver in this class that's better than Travis Hunter. When I watch his tape, I see an alpha in the making. This is somebody who, again, he hasn't run his he didn't run the combine, but his pro day's coming up this week. I expect low 4.4s for him. He's a fast guy. I mean, this guy's got more hardware than Home Depot. I mean, he is unbelievable. I mean, his ball scales are incredible. His hands are sudden. They're sure. He's got good focus. His catch radius is massive.
Yep.
Him getting off the line, the way he explodes off the line, it's very like no cornerback. I couldn't see any cornerbacks jamming him up at the line. Like his release is almost Devontae Adams-esque, like that good. And I use him as a comparison because Devontae Adams is arguably the best in the NFL when it comes to release. And he is that good on tape. And it's hard for me to sit here and kind of think of anything to knock him because like all the skills you want, I said, natural playmaker, his burst, his tempo, his late hands at time, his range. It's all elite, not good to me, elite, like a true alpha number one receiver. The only knock I could see on Travis Hunter, and I think you guys will agree, is his route running is not locked up pretty tightly here. But like I saw plenty of glimpses where it looks like he'll be able to get that down. Once he gets to the NFL, he gets proper coaching and he focuses on the receiver position. Man, he could be scary good. This is an elite prospect to the point where I bumped him up in my personal ranking so far. So like as I build my board as I watch the tape, right? Like, so I have it on my phone, I have it in my notes, and I put them in tiers as I see fit. And I kind of like put these guys in as I go, as I watch the film, and it's fresh. And that's how I build my pre-draft board. Travis Hunter has now jumped to Mario and Hampton for me. He's in tier 2 of a super flex rankings. He's right there with Travion Henderson, Cam Ward, those two guys. So depending on the team structure, obviously, Cam Ward's valid to go to any team at number 2 overall, being a quarterback, being number 1 overall prospect. Travion Henderson, I really want to see where he lands, right. But Travis Hunter's in that same tier for me because he's that good. I saw somebody today, one of those stupid comps where they compare him to all the best receivers of all time. But the one I liked was...
Is it the Frankenstein one?
Or
okay.
Yes, kind of like that. But the one I liked the most was a prime Odell Beckham Jr. I like that one.
I don't mind that.
No, I think that's that's a good comp as far as movement skills and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, he's got a long way to go, I think, in the route running. You touched on that. I think, the only thing I didn't hear you kind of mention and that I want to get out there, I think is the yards after the catch. I think he's pretty special with the ball in his hands as well. He's not a guy that is going to juke out a whole bunch of guys, but he's quick enough and fast enough to, I think,
he makes a lot of guys miss.
He makes guys miss. I think he surprises people in that way, and just knows angles and knows how to get around guys. So I think, obviously the route running is going to be the big ding, I think, from all three of us. And it's not something that is a huge issue because we see all the movement skills necessary for him to be a really good route runner. He just needs to put in the time at just one single position. And if that's done, I think he's one of these guys that will very quickly become talked about in that, hey, where do we rank him in the top 5 of the wide receivers for Dynasty going forward?
Do you want him? Do you want Garrett Wilson?
Right.
Do you want him? Do you want Amon-Ra? Do you want him? Like, those debates will be happening very quickly.
They will, because
he's 21.
He's young. He's his point of, when the ball gets there, his ability to just get his hands on it in any, contort his body, go up and get it, no matter how bad the quarterback kind of throw is. And, this was one of these, you watch the quarterbacks here, and we've seen Shedeur Sanders, and you see all their throws, and you kind of are looking at just the quarterback, but all of a sudden you're looking at the wide receiver end of it, and you're like, oh wow, that was a little bit more off target than I remember. You know what I mean? There were quite a few times where I feel like Travis Hunter kind of bailed out Shedeur Sanders with his ability to kind of just go up and get a ball or reach behind him to get a ball. Yep. And he's very good at all that kind of stuff as well.
It did bring me down a little bit on. Again, I think Shedeur's still a nice upside prospect.
So do I.
But I'm with you on that. And I'm looking at this from a point where, again, my favorite team, the Cleveland Browns, had the number 2 overall pick. And I get a lot of people ask me all the time because they know I watch a lot of football. They're like, hey, what do you want the Browns to do at number 2? Like, what do you think of Travis Hunter? And up until this point, I go, I don't know, man. Like, I have a real hard time taking a receiver at 2. Like, if I take a receiver at 2, like, he's got to be an alpha, like, stud. And now after watching Travis Hunter, I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
he's an alpha stud.
Like
he could be an alpha stud pretty quickly.
Where, like, again, if they took Shedeur, like, I'm okay because I think he could run Stefanski's offense okay. But like you said, after watching tape, like, I'd much rather just take Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. And if Shedeur is really going to slide like people think he is, I'd much rather just trade back up from 33 and go up a little bit more capital to get something like that. But I want an alpha at 2. Like, if you pick high in NFL draft, like, you don't want to gamble if you don't have to. You want to take somebody who thinks something alpha, and that's what Travis Hunter is.
It's interesting. So I gave him a score of a 78.93, so just a tick under a 79. And I have to echo a lot of what you guys said. And really, the route running is the only thing that I knocked him. Everything else is basically 8s and 9s. Like, that's basically what I have. I have a 9.5 for body control. Specifically, I thought of the catch against North Dakota State, where it's pass interference, and he's literally like falling to the ground. Somehow, like, reaches behind the dude's back and still catches it, stays in bounds. Like, just stuff like that. Normal receivers can't make that catch, even at the NFL level. Right. Like, it's just truly special stuff. So the route running is the only thing. You guys mentioned it. He can clean that up. And I think part of it is almost similar to Ashton Genty, where I said there's a few times where I technically had to ding him for vision, even though I'm not 100% sure it was poor vision and it wasn't just, I'm better than you, so I don't need to worry about this step of the process. That's how it almost felt at times with his route running, where it's like, I'm faster than you, I'm bigger than you, I'm whatever it was on that specific play. I don't necessarily need to have the crispest route to still beat you. And I think that's part of it, is just, he just didn't need it. So he'll need it at the next level. I think he will get it. It was interesting, though. I was playing with the numbers a little bit. Like I said, 78.93. That would put him in the top 10 for the past 6 years of Nerd Score. He would be there. However, if that 5.5 that I gave him on route routing, which just is a hair below average, if that were to be bumped to a 7, which would be just a little bit above average, if that were the case, he would now be the number 2 wide receiver in all the 6 years that I've done this
Sure.
for my scores personally.
Behind who, if you don't mind?
Behind Harrison.
Okay.
Harrison was the highest grade I ever gave, and then it would be just ahead of Devonta and Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb. Those are the next three. So, I mean, it's good. Assuming Marvin Harrison pans out, which we believe he will, it's a very good company. The other three guys, Smith, Chase, and CeeDee Lamb, very good NFL receivers. So, it would put him in pretty special company.
Yeah, he's now watching his tape. For me, I don't say this arrogantly too, but like I just don't understand what the people that have Ted McMillan as their number one receiver and they watch Travis Hunter play and how they could compare the two for Dynasty.
It's
like, I
not
don't
close.
understand. Like to me, it's because same thing. It's not even close at all. For me.
I mean, agreed. I touched on that even when we watched Ted McMillan and we were covering him. I was like, I already know that I'm going to like Travis Hunter more just from the small sample that I had seen before that, I actually did like the real review of him. No, I had watched like one tape and then obviously watching Shador, I'd seen some stuff as well.
The one other small potential, I don't know if this is a knock or a good thing. I honestly don't know. But one thing he did seem to have a knack for getting away with was he did a really good job of getting away with a little bit of pushing. Like he would separate himself right before his leap, or he would, and a lot of times it was on the hip or things like that where it's hard to see. So will it be called at the next level? I don't know. But some of the best receivers do some of that kind of stuff where they do give a little bit right before the leap or right before, and you see him doing some of that kind of stuff too. So, like I said, I don't know if that's a knock or a compliment to him.
You know what I took it away from? I saw with him that I didn't see with any other receivers, and I haven't seen with a lot of receivers.
Smooth explosiveness.
No,
In this class, that's fair.
I felt like defensive backs were like overly aggressive with him. Like even like there's a couple things like I saw like after the play of him getting shoved to the ground, like stuff like that. Like
Because the name of who he was, like,
yeah, you know what I mean. Like I saw that on tape. I was like, wow. Like so I wonder if that comes from that, like just being like aggressive. Like the other defensive backs were a little bit handsy. Because I saw that, I was like, man, he's getting like a little after the like down play shoves here.
He's obviously got a unique perspective, also being a defensive back. So he's probably the smack talk going on between a defensive back / wide receiver and a defensive back. It's got to be pretty epic.
and they knew he was one of the favorites for the Heisman and his name and stuff like that.
So we're just curious for you guys. I said for me, he jumped into tier 2. Like I moved him above Quinshon Judkins. I moved above Amario and Hampton. I was wondering, like now after watching this tape, I think we're all in the same boat. Because I know Jared too. Jared's sick today. He texted. He's like, hey, I just want you guys to put it out there. I don't like all these guys, but I truly believe Travis Hunter's an alpha receiver.
Yep.
I want that to be known for everybody as well. So where do you guys kind of see him right now, April 1st, before the NFL draft in your dynasty rankings? Rookie rankings, that is.
Rookie rankings. I mean,
This is the assumption that he's for sure a receiver, correct?
right. I think we have to operate underneath that assumption at this point, especially for this conversation. Man. So you got him above Amarian. Amarian. What did I say?
Mario, yeah.
Amarian. No. So Hampton. That's kind of like right. Listen, from a skill standpoint alone, it's Genty and then him, right? As far as
That's fair.
who's going to be the cream of the crop, like the most elite athletes,
And that's why I have him in that tier,
right?
tier 2.
And that's the rub with him is he going to play wide receiver? Is it, you know what I mean? And obviously for this conversation, we're just saying we're assuming yes. So I could say, I have the first and second pick in a super flex league this year, and I don't need quarterback, and I'm kind of drooling over the fact that I might have these two primo guys that I can get right away on my roster, Genty and Travis Hunter.
Yeah, I have 3 and 4 in one league, and I'm hoping I hope Hunter's locked in as one of those guys.
It's tough for me because he definitely is in the tier with Hampton and Travion. I think a lot of it will come down to do Travion and Omari and Hampton get first round draft pedigree or not? Because
he's going first round.
Yeah, we know that. No doubt about it.
He's going top
5.
4. Right. Oh, he's going top 4.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Top 4.
No, top 4.
No.
But
if I had to guess, he's going to be a Cleveland Brown today. If I had to guess,
I would be totally fine with that. But
I think that when I say top 4 is like I think there's 0% chance he gets past New England, like 0%.
I don't know why they would.
Yep.
With a guy like Drake May, obviously would love to have him. So.
Yes.
So you have him in the
you have him in like the 3-4 range right now. Is that
Yeah, it would. A lot of it would depend on where does Trey and,
Yeah.
and Quinshawn go? Or not Quinshawn. Where does Trey and Hampton go? And what team?
How do they announce?
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm the same boat 'cause I have Cam Ward at like that. Like I could easily take, like you said, I could take Cam Ward 2 easily if I
Right.
need a quarterback. If not, I could easily take Henderson or Hunter, depending on my team structure.
and that just shows once again how much value is going to be at the top of these drafts, especially in tight end premium drafts, because there's a decent chance that Loveland and Warren are both top 20 guys at the position as well. There's how many quarterbacks do we get early? Quinshawn's likely to be an early to mid second rounder.
Loveland to the Chargers would get me really
Oh my gosh.
excited.
Yeah. If he makes it that far.
But if he does, if he gets to 22, that's exciting.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's huge.
But, like,
So that's the thing. Like, it could be another year where you're like, normally I don't want to be at pick 5, but pretty excited for the 5th overall pick this year. I got some good
Somebody
players.
is going to fall. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, not even fall. It's somebody's going to be there.
Be there. Yeah, absolutely.
And then it's going to be one of those years, too. Again, there's probably going to be pretty good value on first-round quarterbacks. Like, say, Jackson Dart and Shadur go in the first. Say Dart goes in the teens. Say Shadur goes in the teens as well. Just say he does.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get one of those quarterbacks probably 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, they're going to slip because they're just like, I don't truly believe in him. I don't want to end up with Andy Dalton. I don't want to end up with Kenny Pickett. I'm taking Tyler Warren. I'm taking Colston Loveland. I'm taking
Luther Burden and
Pat
Mecca
McMillan.
Ibuka.
Yeah.
And listen, I like Cam Ward. I like Shador Sanders. I don't love any one of those quarterbacks. You know what I mean? And
Right.
and this might be the year where,
Like the Kenny Pickett year.
right?
I like Cam Ward enough to keep him in that tier.
I like him, but I don't love him. I love these guys. You know what I mean? I love the running backs. I love Travis Hunter now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these guys I think are going to be a difference maker, while those quarterbacks might just be a guy.
Especially
you know what
without what we expect to not be a real rushing upside.
I mean?
That's what makes it even more tricky.
Right? Blah.
Yeah. It's a good it's a tier of like, who do I need? You know, like I need Ashton Genty. I need Travis Hunter. I need Trevion Henderson. Who do I like? Oh, I like Ted McMillan.
Yeah.
You know, like I like Cam Scatterby. I like Dylan Sampson. And then like, I'll take these other guys. Yeah.
I'll take these other guys, and then we're going to get around to some guys that I don't want to take.
This was the fun part of the show.
All right, we swiped right. Let's see. Let's start swiping left.